Good afternoon everyone, welcome to a new video on my channel. In this video I'm going to show you the differences or do like a quick comparison between these two grinders. Both of them are new to the market. They are coming from a company called Starseeker, and they initially launched this one, this called Starseeker Edge, and then they did this one which is the Starseeker Edge Plus. Both of them are conical burr grinders, and both of them have some features like very low RPM. That's the main feature about both of them, which is the low RPM. So the small one, the Edge, comes with only 140 RPM, which is very like slow grinding, and the big one, which is coming at 200 RPM. So both of them have stepless adjustment, means that you can change the grind adjustment using the collar like that, just left and right. Of course, if you go towards the low number like that, you're making it finer. If you go other way around towards a bigger number, this is going to be giving you coarse settings. And since they are both of them stepless, means that you can go many rounds. So if I start from the 0 point, if I turn it on like that, the 0 point comes exactly at number 0, and if I go all the way, this one has until number 60, and then it can again go to the 0, and then you go for a next round and so on. Same for that one. The only difference between the big one and the small one in the grind settings is that the small one comes up until number 10. So it's not until number 6, it's until number 10, and both of them have very precise settings, means that every rotation has 1 millimeter, which is 1000 microns. So if you look at that in numbers, you'll find that you have very precise settings when you move from a number to another, and this is a great thing about both of them. The big one, which is the Starseeker Edge Plus, comes with this big cup, and the good thing about it is that also it has this holder that you can put your portafilter like that in it, and then you can grind directly into the portafilter. Not only that, you can also place a dosing ring if you want, to make sure that the grinds don't fall out. The small one doesn't have this feature because it has a very small footprint, so you cannot fit a portafilter in it. However, you can hold it with your hand like that, or even under this one, or using like a dosing funnel. But it also comes with this nice metal cup. Both grinders come in a very good shape. They have very good packaging, and they have everything that you need. Like, they come with brushes, they come with bellows like that. So this is the bellow for the small one, and there's also another bellow for the big one, which is that one. They come with a very good rubber, so you can place the bellow over the top of the grinder in case you want to put the beans, and then after that you start, like, you know, blowing the remaining of the grinds to achieve all your amount, to get everything out of the grinder. However, I don't like to put this one on the big one because I don't know, like the top of it, the lid of the grinder, is not very easy to put over the bellow. That's the only negative thing I see so far about it. So it has, you just need to learn it. I mean, if you put the lid like that, it would fall, see? But if you just place it inside the lid, I mean the top bellow, it wouldn't fall again. Okay, so better if you want to use it, you can just put the beans here like that, and then put the bellow itself and keep the lid on all the time, so you don't remove the lid. However, on the small one it's different because the lid here comes with this groove, so you can fit it inside the bellow, so it wouldn't fall. It's easy to take out and put it in back. Maybe because this has a smaller footprint and a smaller hopper as well, maybe this is the reason that they made it like that. I don't have any idea why didn't they apply the same concept of this one here. But anyway, this is not the biggest roadblock when we talk about a grinder. Like I mentioned, both of them come with the stepless grind settings. They are made all of metal, which is something very good because the grinder like this weighs around like 5 kilograms. It's heavier than the niche, of course, and heavier than the DF64V. not heavier than this one, because this one is like 8 kilograms. So this is the DF64, the first model. I fitted the SSP burrs in it, SSP multi-purpose. What else do I need to cover in this video? Yeah, the magnets here are, I mean, like the grinders have so much magnets. So for the small one, like I mentioned in my previous video, the dial indicator comes with magnetic footprint, so you can always place it in the way you want. It has 4 small magnets, 4 tiny magnets here, and they just fit in place. They don't move unless you move it intentionally. If you move it away, it will always, you know, you'll feel some like magnetic power to put it back in the middle exactly. And the big one doesn't have this because the dial indicator is already like placed or like stamped over the body of the grinder. However, the chute itself is magnetic, so you can always take it out like that. It has very strong magnets in the chute, and this is a very good thing because if you allow me, because I'm taking the videos using my phone, look at this one. The grind chamber is just here. See, if I turn on the grinder, see, you just see the sweeper that takes all the grinds out of the grinder. This is something that is not there in a grinder like this or even a grinder like this. Yet it's here, and also it's here too. So if you look at the smaller one, you just put your hand to take that chute out, and the same concept, you see the grind chamber here. See, so when I turn it on, you will see that the beans are coming out. If you for any reason remove this one, the grounds will be falling everywhere, of course, so it's not something that people should try. Yet the grinder has very good magnets, as you see. It's very simple to take out the chute and then place it back again. For the big one, the chute is, because it's big and it has a slanting angle like that, it's, I don't know, it's not very easy for me to take it out unless I use my both hands. But because this one comes in a straight position, so it's easy to take it out and put it back again. So this is about the main features for the 2 grinders. Both of them come with very good motors. I believe something like 160 or 200 watt motor in each. I tried to put like light roasted beans in it while it's already closed, and then I tried to turn it on, and then it never stalled. However, this happened with the DF64V. I understand that the other one is a flat burr, so it needs more torque. But for a hand grinder, or for a motorized hand grinder, if I call this one a motorized hand grinder, because it has the same burr size like the K Plus and the other hand grinders. This comes with a 48 millimeters conical burr, and this one comes with a 63 millimeters conical burr, which means that this one has the same diameter and size of a burr like this, of the Niche Zero. The differences are big between both of them. Like this one, it's actually not mine, it's for one of my friends. He got it for almost $300. And this one is definitely higher. This is like $700 or something. So you can say that this is at least double the price of that one. And this one was a very cheap one. This only $220 at the time I'm capturing this video. That's about it. I'll try to grind some beans to show you the results of both of them. And before doing that, I want to tell you that because of the low RPM in both grinders, you can achieve whatever you want. I mean, if you want to grind very fine to reach Turkish coffee quality, Turkish coffee size, grind size, you can. If you want to go all the way until you do a drip coffee, or even further like a French press or something, you can still do that. And because it has a very slow RPM in both of them, it's very simple for you to get excellent results for your brewed coffee. I mean, if I try to do filter with both of them, in my experiment so far, both of them give great results for filter coffee. And what we know about that is that when we try to do the filter coffee, you don't see that the bed is muddy when you pour the water on it, especially when you finish pouring all the water. If there is a lot of fines in your grinds, then the top of the bed will be very muddy. It will look like very soft top of the bed, and this will result into better taste for your coffee, which is something that you don't want to achieve when you do brewed coffee using any of the drippers. However, when I tried the same experiment with a grinder like this runs at 330 RPMs, definitely like more than double the RPM of the similar one, which is this one. Yet, because niche is known to be an espresso grinder, no matter if they advertise it as an all-purpose grinder, still it's preferably used only for espresso. So when I do coarse grinds with it, if I try to achieve filter coffee grind size with it, I definitely get a lot of fines. So I could not say that niche is better in terms of the filter coffee quality. Definitely it's not. Yet, if I compared between this one and the niche, because they are having the same burst size, the niche gave me better range, or like bigger range for espresso. So if I when I tried to do a shot that took around 26 to 27 seconds in extraction, on niche I ground it around 13 or 14, okay, which is something that's good, because I still have until I reach 0. So I'm calibrating my grinder in a way that I let the burst touch, very slight touching, to know that this is the exact 0 point, and from there I place the silver dot on the 0, and then I move further, so I know where exactly the burr touch back. And this is not the recommended way to calibrate it using the factory settings, but this is how I have been using it since like more than 2 years now, and it's giving me very good results every time. Even if I clean it, I can achieve the same grind settings exactly as if I didn't yet open the grinder and clean it. So on the other way, when I did the same shot timing here on this grinder, it took me around 3 notches only from the 0 point, which means that I have only 3 notches to go back, which is a very narrow range when it comes to such a coffee like that. But the only thing is that when I did this experiment, I didn't use the normal basket, I used this one, the Pisado high yield or high extraction basket, and this is known to have so much holes, 2,200 holes if I'm correct. That's almost triple the number of holes that are there in a normal basket like a VST or an IMS. So this requires very fine grind. But the thing is that with requiring very fine grind for a basket like that, I got to achieve that exactly in after only 3 notches from the 0, but in the niche it took me around 14 notches to get the same. So if I want to grind finer, I have a big range to go backward towards the 0 point. So that's about the basic introduction and the basic comparison between both of them. Now I want to grind with both of them to let you hear the sound that both of them produce when they grind coffee, and also to show you how the grinds look in terms of the, I know we should really measure it using something like a groove or something, but still, like I'll show you how fluffy they both look like when we grind coffee. So guys, I got a tissue and I'm gonna grind some coffee beans. I'll try to do most of the range, like the fine grinds and also the coarse grinds on both of them. But before that, I want you to hear the sound that each of them makes. So unfortunately I have only one cable, so I'm gonna unplug it from the Edge Plus and put it in the Edge once I let you hear it first. So this is the Edge Plus sound. If you wanna compare it to the niche sound, that's how it looks. Again. So if I put both of them together, and this is the Edge sound. So it has, like, I put this socket. This has the power converter. That's why it works on both. So it works on both, like the 110 and 220. So you just plug it here like that. The same socket in the same place exactly is also placed in the other one, the Edge Plus. So this is how it sounds, the small one. Okay, so let's grind some beans. I'm not going to do any RDT because I want you to see how the grinds look like when I grind without any drops of water. I'll go fine first, so I'll turn it on and go fine all the way back. Yeah, that's the starting point is number 1. there is no zero, it's just number one. And I usually do my espressos starting from not the 0 point, of course, like a little bit further depending on the basket size and the basket diameter and all that, and up to maybe number 3 or 4, up to here. So from 1 to 4, which is 40 steps. It's not stepped, but I mean by steps, every like step between the number and the next one is like there's 10 steps between 3 and 4 and so on. So I have like 40 steps for espresso. But for the other one, I think the range of espresso is only like less than that, maybe something like 20 steps or 25 steps. That's in my experience. Maybe with some other beans it might go beyond that. So let's try the steps at I mean like at number 2, which is like 10 steps from 0. This should give me like Turkish coffee grind. And as you see, I put the beans and I turned it on after that, and it has no problem at all. I can either bellow like that using the cover, or I can just do like the lagom, just like that. I just use my hand without any bellows, and it gives me the result that I need. And the coffee smells very nice. This is 10 steps from the 0. Wait, I'll show you. That's how it looks. If I put it, first I put it on my hand, then I put it on the tissue. So this is the coffee. This is 10 steps from 0. I think we can go finer. Let's try to go finer. So let's make it something like, not 0 exactly, of course. However, 0 is not the touching point, by the way. Let's make it like 0.3, like 3 steps. Okay. This should be very fine. And of course, if I take this one out, I can see if there is any remaining of coffee grounds, as you see here. Some blowing, maybe some, if I use the brush that comes with it. It comes with the brush, it comes with a bottle for spraying, it also comes with the bellow. So this is 0.3. That's how it looks. This one is very fine. Not as fine as niche, of course, but it's good to achieve espresso. It doesn't make Turkish coffee anyway, but it makes very good espresso. As you see, it's fine enough. If I grind 18 grams of coffee in that kind of fineness, I think I don't need anything more. And I didn't tell you guys, the taste is really good. For both grinders, they actually produce very similar taste. I don't know how, however, the geometry of the burrs is not the same. Yet the taste between both of them is very similar. In my personal opinion, I like the filter coffee that is produced by the smaller one better than the other one. However, the other one is good for espresso. I compared between the big one, the Edge Plus, and the Niche in espresso, and it always gave me better taste for my coffee than the Niche. I think that this is because of the slow RPM, because there is no other variables that we can talk about if we talk about the same burr size, unless the burr here is better. And I don't want to say that because even we don't know who is the maker of the burr here. It's 63 ml, yet we don't know who is the maker of it. It's a Chinese burr. I'm not sure if it's any of the good brands. Like the Niche has the Mazer Connie burr, and this is a very famous grinder and a very famous company, of course, Italian made, and it has been there in the market since so many years. So nobody can say or assume that the burr in each of them is good until a lot of experimentation is happening. A lot of people try it, not even one person. That's about it. So let's try to go coarser, maybe at I want to go one full turn, like I'll go back to number 1. Okay, so that's 100 steps. I want to show you at 100 steps how fine or coarse the coffee will be. Put the beans. Oh, I like the size of it. It's very nice, very handy, very small, doesn't take a big space on the counter. and it's very solid, like it stays in place. It's more than 2 kilograms, so anyway it's big enough. I mean, it's heavy enough to not to shake or vibrate while grinding. So this is the coffee that I made at 100 steps, which is 1 full turn. Very good for filter, as you see. Hope this is close enough. Very good quality for filter. I can go further, of course. If I go at 2 full turns, that's very far. This maybe produce some drip coffee style, like cold brew or French press. Yeah. I was going to join the club, but I just used my hand at the last moment. So this is this is the coffee that I can get at 200 steps, which is 2 full turns. So that should be 2000 microns, because 1 round is 1000 microns, which is 1 millimeter. So this is 2000 microns size. Okay, that's good for cold brew and French press and all that. So now let's move on to the next one, which is the Edge Plus. Let's quickly have a look at it and see the kind of coffee grinds that we can get with it. So I'm putting the tissue again. And there is one thing before grinding that I want to tell you about, because the hopper in both of them is not as soft as something like the niche. So when I grind coffee here, I never see chaff in this hopper. It's always shiny and clean. But in these two grinders, even here, this happens more, which is that the surface of the bean hopper is a little bit rough. So when I grind a big quantity of coffee, what happens is that the chaff comes on this. So I'm really sorry guys, the phone got a little bit hot, so I had to stop the video, and then here I am continuing again. So I was just telling you that the bean hopper is a little bit rough in the edge. Like the texture of it is kind of, it's rough. So this kind of like contributes in having some chaff when you grind coffee that has much chaff, especially if you do filter. And the same issue is happening here, not as frequent as that one, yet it's a little bit softer here. Definitely the texture here is soft comparing to the other one, but as you see, even when it's soft, there is a little bit of coffee grounds and chaff maybe will be available in that hopper. It's not a big issue because we can use a brush or a tissue to clean it. Not that biggest deal, like that. Okay, and then you can blow it. You can turn the grinder on and blow the coffee, and it will definitely go. Okay, so let's try to grind some beans in the Edge Plus. I like the design of the Edge Plus so much. Let me show you how it looks. So it's coming on a holder. It's all made of metal, of course. That's a holder. Okay, and the holder has some screws on the bottom under the grinder that's holding the grinder to the holder, and the grinder itself is slanting in that position, in that angle, and screwed in the holder, so it always looks like that. Unlike the other one is just coming like that. It doesn't have any holders, doesn't have any angles, it's just straight position, but this one coming in a slanting position. Things like the DF64 or DF64V, all the new style of grinders, they're all coming in a little bit angle position, so that it helps in preventing the retention of the beans. So let me put the phone back on the holder. Let's grind some beans and see how the range looks. I want to show it as much as possible so you can have it with me. I'm really sorry that I don't prepare any scripts for my videos, and I don't have a lot of equipment. It's just my phone and a holder that I put it in my kitchen, and that's how I capture all my videos. So it's not a channel, not one of those fancy channels. Okay, but let's hope for a better future, inshallah. So first of all, I'll see where I am. Okay, that's 0. I'll go to 5. feel that the coffee takes longer time to come from this grinder. Even if it's faster, but I have to blow many times until all the coffee comes out. But as you see, that's 5 steps. I'll show you right now how the coffee looks like. It smells very nice, by the way. And this is how the coffee, how fine it is at 5 steps from the zero. This is very good for espresso. See? I hope that this is clear enough for you. Okay, now let's try to go a little bit finer. Maybe number 2. I'm just blocking it with my hand. However, I could use the cover. It has magnets. It will stick like that, and that's it. But because I'm just grinding few beans, I think that there is no need to keep on covering it and uncovering it again. So this is the coffee I get at 2 notches. This is how fine it is. It's definitely finer. But it's not as fine as Turkish coffee. They don't claim that this grinder makes Turkish coffee, but it is still very fine and very consistent. Let's go coarser. Let's go at maybe 30 steps and try. And then let's do 60 after that. See, I'm just using my hand to blow more. The blower is very powerful. The blower is very powerful. To put some beans and try 30. You can put the beans and then turn it on. Definitely faster since it's a coarser grind. Okay. There is no much static, I would say. This is the coffee at 30 notches. I think this is AeroPress coffee, maybe. Yeah, AeroPress. Looks consistent too. Let's try to go coarser. Let's try to go 1 full turn. 60. Okay. You can cover it, see if the noise will be this or something. See, if I turn this one away, that's how it looks. This is the coffee at 1 full turn, 60 notches, 60 steps. Again, reminding you that this is a stepless grinder. And it's a very cheap one. Like, usually these 2 grinders are the prices of the hand grinders. So we never dreamed to have a stepless grinder with this quality, with this build quality, and with this quality of grinds at the price of an espresso grinder, hand grinder before. At least in the last 2-3 years. See, this is the coffee at 1 full turn. So, to conclude our video, I'm not recommending any of them in a specific over the other one, because both of them are really good. It depends on what you have in your setup, or if you have a grinder or no. I have a niche, so I don't need to buy another one that looks exactly not in the way it looks, but at least the same bird size of the niche. That's why I got the small one, because I don't have a small size like that that can help me even the size of it on my counter. Yet the big one doesn't have a very big footprint. If you talk about the footprint, maybe somebody would buy both for the price of a DF64V, I would say. Maybe somebody would have a DF64 and he would get something like that or like that. This depends on like how do you like to have your coffee, and how do you want to set up your coffee bar. Yet what I'm saying is that both of them are very cheap, and both of them are really good quality and very solid build quality, very sturdy thing, not made of plastic like other grinders. And I think this is it for me in this video. I know it's a very long one, but I hope it was really beneficial to you guys. Thank you so much.